Turn in your books to page 74. So we just reviewed some of the contractions. So what does the apostrophe mean in a contraction? Jensen?
It replaces one or two words in, so the first word, it has the full first word. And then the apostrophe replaces one or two letters in
Right.
the second.
Right. So the apostrophe takes the place of missing letters. So it's after you're taking two words and putting together. All right, now, you have, in order to use a contraction, you need to make sure you're using, if it's plural or singular, because it needs to match the subject. If the subject is plural, what kind of a verb do you need? You need plural verb. If the subject is singular, what kind of a verb do you need? Singular. Because it doesn't make sense if you would say, let me think. The boy take his bite to the park. You would say takes. Because remember, the verb with an S on it is actually singular. So the boy takes, you would say. So let's read the box at the top of page 74. And it says to remember, use am, is, was, does, and has with a singular verb. So we have this right here, okay, which has gotten wiped off. So have, or singular. So we have has, had, could be either one, does, and then on these we have am, is, and was. Okay, those are all singular. But then you need to use are, were, do, and have. Where do we have that? Do and have. Those are plural. So tell you what, open your journal. Let's make a list. We're going to make a singular list and a plural list. And these are verbs. Okay, most mainly helping and state of being. Alright, so under singular, we're going to write am, is, was, does, and has. So notice, look at all of these have S, most all except for am have an S. Is, was, does, has. Singular has an S, so that can help you remember. Singular verbs have an S on the end a lot of times. Write this down on a new page in your am is, was, does, has. And then our plural, we would use are, were, do, have. And what was the one that said you could use singular or plural? Had. Good. So you can write had under both. And if it helps, you can underline this S. That might help you remember. Oh, not that one. Singular. So the verb part of a contraction must agree with the subject, just like we learned before. Singular subject, singular plural. or singular subject, singular verb. Plural subject, plural verb. Have to match. So the example says Rachel's just one person, so it's singular. Rachel was the jump rope champion. Caleb, he's one person, wasn't at school last Friday. Now what two words take the place of wasn't? Or stand for was? Was not. Was not. Was is singular. So you kind of set the not aside and just look at the was. Okay. Now, let's add to our list. We're going to use there is there, here is, with a singular noun. I mean, that makes sense because we wrote is on our list for singular. And then plural, we're going to use there are, are there, or here are. So, tell you what, let's add that to our list. Okay, so there is. Here is. So those all have the is, just like this is. And we have there are there, here are. Does that help you to remember that singular, a lot of times a singular verb has the S, and singular starts with the S. Micah, are you writing these down? Or you can write them in recess, your choice. So, let's look at the examples. Is there a basket in the cupboard? So, basket is the subject, right? Basket is how many? Is that one or more than one? If you're just talking about a basket, that's one, so it's singular. So you use is there. Next one, here is the basket, mother. So we're still talking about one basket, so we use here is. Next one, there are many blackberries on the bushes. Blackberries is plural, so we use there are. And then, are there enough berries to make a pie? Berries is plural, so we use are there. Okay, so let's practice. Underline the subject. Complete each sentence by writing is, isn't, are, or aren't. Number 1, let me have Nicholas.
Isn't the weather wonderful today?
Okay, so first let's underline the subject. What's the subject?
Isn't?
No, that's the verb.
Weather?
Yeah, weather is your subject. So underline weather once. And so weather is singular, right? So it's talking about one weather. So we either need to use is or isn't. You could actually use is or isn't, depending on what kind of a sentence. You could say, isn't the weather wonderful today? Or you could say, is the weather wonderful today? So either one. Number 2. Logan, you want to do that one? Except for women aren't pastors. Go ahead.
Pastor Logan is planning a church picnic.
Okay, so Pastor Logan is one person. So we need a singular verb. So you can either put is or isn't, depending on whether he's going to plan a picnic or not. Number 3, Alex.
Number 3, Mom and Dad
blank making sandwiches to share. Do
Okay.
underline
Yeah, what's the subject?
mom and dad,
Right. Underline mom, underline dad.
and then you put are.
Right, because mom and dad means that's a plural subject. It's more than one. So we need to use either are or aren't. Now probably they are making sandwiches. Because mom and dad, they're nice, they would share with you. Mom and dad aren't making sandwiches to share.
Yeah. You're not making sense.
Okay, number 4, Brayden.
We are taking umbrellas since it doesn't look like rain.
Okay, now in this case, we probably wouldn't say aren't. Well, yes, aren't. Or we wouldn't say are, we would say aren't. Because the whole object of the sentence is it's not raining, so we aren't going to take an umbrella. So what's the subject for number 4? No, not umbrellas. We aren't. We means more than one person, right? If you're saying we and you're talking about yourself, then something's wrong. Okay? We means more than one person. So we aren't. Okay? Are is plural. Think B. For each sentence, write C if the bold word or bold verb or contraction in the sentence is correct. Write I if it is incorrect. The noun is underlined for you. So Micah, would you do number 1? Read it for us and then tell us if it's correct or incorrect.
Macy and
Aaron.
was hungry after doing it's incorrect because was is supposed to be were.
Very good. Because Macy and Aaron, that's plural, so they needed to use the plural word. Number 2, Jacob.
There were fresh biscuits for breakfast this morning.
Is that correct or incorrect? So, okay, well, our subject is biscuits. So biscuits is plural, so we need to use the plural verb. So is that correct? Well, it is, because were is plural. So biscuits were. If it said there was fresh biscuits, then it would be incorrect, because was is singular. Number 3, Jana.
Weren't Grandma going to scramble some eggs too? Incorrect.
Why is that incorrect?
Because
Go ahead. Jed. You need a pencil. Why wouldn't we say weren't Grandma? How many people is Grandma? 1. So we need singular, right? Is weren't singular?
no.
No, weren't is plural, so we need to say wasn't. We would need to say wasn't Grandma going to scramble some eggs too? Number 4, Matthew. There were several
Kinds of jelly to choose from.
So kinds is the subject or the noun.
It's correct.
You're right, it is correct, because kinds is plural, so were is plural, that's correct. Number 5, Dylan.
Number 5. Soon there wasn't any biscuits left.
is it incorrect or correct?
Correct.
Actually, no, because biscuits is plural, right? There's more than one biscuit. So it should say, soon there weren't, because we need a plural verb. Soon there weren't any biscuits left. Number 6, Autumn.
Here are the empty plates that had the biscuits, Grandma. It's incorrect because it should say here is the empty plate.
Right, because it's only talking about one plate. So plate in is. Number 7, Mackenzie.
Aren't there any biscuits left for later? Correct.
Yes, that's correct. Very good. At the bottom, you are going to write an interrogative sentence using the contraction for was not.
Wasn't.
So what's the contraction for was not? Wasn't. What kind of a sentence is interrogative?
Asking questions.
The question. So you're going to write an asking sentence. Write an asking sentence using the word wasn't. Now, wasn't is that singular or plural?
Singular.
Singular, look, was. Was not, was. So you need a singular subject. So don't say my friends wasn't home. Friends is plural. Friends is plural and wasn't is singular. Well, that's why it doesn't make sense though. Sometimes we don't know. I'm like, I'm not sure. But it's better to know why. Does anybody want to read their sentence when they're finished? Okay, Jacob?
Wasn't the 9-year-old ketchup stolen?
No way. Are we still talking about the ketchup?
Yes, because the police cars are down at McDonald's.
Alright. Braden.
Wasn't Matthew doing his homework?
Oh, good one.
Matthew.
And I'm sure he was doing it at home. Autumn.
Why wasn't your dog fruit at your house?
Why wasn't what?
Your dog fruit at your house.
Okay. Alex.
Wasn't Dylan gonna go walk the dog today?
Okay. Micah.
I wasn't gonna take the turtle off the cliff.
Come on. Jensen.
Wasn't Nicholas dead?
That's not appropriate. We're not going to talk like that. That's not nice at all. Erase that and rewrite that. Logan.
Wasn't there Texas buns in the fridge?
Good. Matthew.
Wasn't Dean outside?
Yes.
Wasn't Grandma cooking?
Okay. So what did you put at the end of your sentence?
Question mark.
A question mark. Good. Okay. And then, just for a review, turn to page 288. The back. We're going to do a take 5. 288. Yes.
I want to eat
Okay. Next time, if there's an inappropriate sentence, you don't get a second chance to read it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
All right, page 288, lesson 77. Draw a line between the subject and predicate parts of the sentence. Underline the subject once, underline the correct verb in parentheses twice. So, if it's singular, what kind of a verb do we need?
Singular.
Singular, thank you. If it's plural, we need a plural verb. Number 1, John run or runs faster than any other 4th grader in our class. Alex, where are we going to divide the line, and then what are we going to underline? Or divide the sentence?
We're gonna divide the line right next between Leah and Ride, I guess.
Here, we're on number 1 now.
Oh. You put the line on behind John.
Okay, divide after John, right, Micah? And then what do we underline?
Runs. Runs.
Okay, John is the subject, so underline John once,
So
and the verb is
runs.
runs.
So the sentence altogether is John runs faster than any other fourth grader in our class.
Very good. Okay, number 2, Nicholas. Alexis.
Alexis and
Leah.
Leah
Ride or rides
rides their horses together.
Okay, so where are we going to divide the sentence?
After Alexis and Leah.
After Leah, draw your dividing line between your subject and predicate.
And underline rides twice.
Okay, what's the subject?
Alexis and Leah.
And that's plural, so we need,
underline it once.
right? And then a verb is what? What's the verb again?
Rides.
No. Alexis and Leah is plural. So which one is plural? Ride or rides?
Ride.
Ride. Right. Remember, when a verb has an S, it's singular. So Alexis and Leah ride. Number 3, our class prays for our missionary. Logan, where did we divide the line?
After class.
Divide after class. What's the subject?
Praise.
No, subject.
And
Subject is class. And what's the verb?
praise.
Praise. Good. Because even though class usually has more than one person, it's one class. So it's singular. Now if you said classes, then it would be plural. So class praise. Number 4, the puppy jumps up for a treat. Lucy.
After puppy, underline puppy,
Good.
and underline jumps twice.
Very good. Puppy is singular and jumps is singular. Number 5, Gabriel's parents laughs at his funny stories. Lucas. Where do we divide?
After Gabriel,
After parents. Yeah. After parents, and what's the subject?
Gabriel.
No, actually, it's not saying that Gabriel laughs, it's saying that Gabriel's parents. So parents is the subject. Okay. Do the parents laugh or laughs? Right, because parents is plural and laugh is plural. Okay, lesson 78. Write the contraction for each pair of words. Number 1, she is, what's the contraction? She's. Spell it. S-H-E''S. Number 2, you are. Your. Spell. Y-O-U''R-E. Good. Number 3, we will. Wheel. That's kind of hard to say. It sounds like you're saying a wheel, like on a car. Wheel. W-E''L-L. Number 4, will not. Won't. Very good. W-O-N''T. Number 5, did not. Didn't. D-I-D-N''T. Very good. And then last lesson, in the blank, write the letter of the column with the correct capitalization punctuation. If neither A or B is correct, write N for neither. So number 1, who can tell me which one is correct? Jensen?
A.
Yes, because mom is capitalized. Number 2. Autumn?
Lisa, the second one.
Yes, letter B, because you put quotation marks around the title of a song. Number 3, Alex?
B.
I should have called him Micah, right? Just kidding. No, not B.
A.
And not A. Actually, neither of them are correct.
Because they're the same.
Let me see. Micah, remember your jacket. Okay, because the first one needs a
see
comma
it.
after Micah,
see it.
and the second one has a period after jacket, and it should be a comma. So that's N. Number 4. Noah, which one is correct? A, B, or N? Oh dear, sighed Ava. I spilled my milk.
Oh, dear.
We have a milk spill pretty much every night, isn't it? No, not usually Micah. It's usually Gabe or Grace. Okay, do you know? Somebody else know? What is it?
N.
It's N, right? Because A is incorrect because they have a period after deer and it should be a comma. And B is incorrect because there's no quotation mark before I. And then the last one, number 5, which one is correct? All right, Logan?
B.
Letter B is correct because you underline the name of a boat. Very good. You may put that away.